Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Cancer. If Cancer is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. Okay, let's see what these tea leaves have to say. All right, so kind of all on one side here. Maybe a couple, a couple little things here and here in the middle. But a lot happening right here. Okay. So interesting how these, I mean, they're tea leaves, but you see just really detailed kind of scenarios happening. Okay, so I want to look at the card first. We have the Three of Wands. This is related to virtue. This is kind of, it can be related to maybe like a new beginning. But, you know, mostly I look at it and I see kind of abiding the laws of your own universe. Okay, so your own experience within reality, your own kind of formulated world understanding, and what are those laws that you have created for yourself? What, you know, what are your virtues? What do you, you know, where is your morality, your ethics, and all these things, although we perceive them to be created by, you know, outwardly institutions and philosophies and religions and so on, ultimately, we are the ones that create our ultimate understanding. And, you know, if we are a person that can be open, honest, and authentic with ourselves, and kind of find what those things are, you know, that's some deep work. That's some really long and kind of really, you know, the work of an adept or somebody who may be initiated or self-initiated or, you know, on a spiritual path of some kind. Or you maybe just have a really good relationship with your true self, or whatever you would call your true self, your authentic self, you know, yourself beneath the conditioning. And so this is an interesting card and an interesting topic for me. I'm very interested in life. One of my, I would say, top priorities in life, ultimate kind of contemplations, is this idea of what are your, or, you know, what are the original virtues? We know that the more accepted virtues are humility, kindness, temperance, charity, I'm trying to think, patience, diligence, and I think, what is the other one? Abstinence/chastity, I think. Maybe I said that already. But anyways, these are virtues of the church, or spiritual most spiritual systems have similar virtues, okay? And so this is something to think about. I can't tell you what the original virtues are. I'm still thinking about it every single day of my life. You know, these I think are very in line with our instincts that we, you know, are kind of written into us. But where, you know, where does that begin and end? And, you know, it's hard to say. So this is something to think about, definitely. Now, I want to look at this wild, these wild tea leaves we have going on. I see up here, and this one's very interesting to me. We have the sickle, okay? And, oops, we have the sickle here. And this is usually related to harvest deities, agricultural deities, also related to, and you know, Kronos is related to agriculture, but also time, and later kind of related to death. Okay, the kind of the Grim Reaper motif, but also, you know, Kronos, Saturn, kind of the same. And but in this case, I think because right next to it we have this beautiful, it looks like an enthroned person, which means a person sitting upon a throne. And they look like they're wearing some kind of robe or a dress. And 100% this tells me this is like total Demeter energy. This is a mother goddess archetype. This is a mother of sorrows. This is the mother of Persephone, who Persephone is pulled down to the underworld, to Hades. Okay, and Demeter, who is a goddess of wheat, maybe agriculture in general. I don't know. She is pictured with the sickle, and so this is a goddess that spends her time trying to get her daughter back. So her daughter comes back every spring, okay, and then she descends after all the things grow, and then they get harvest. She goes away for the winter, fall, winter. And so there's this continued feeling of receiving and loss, you know, growth and death. And this is a very, you know, this is something that we all face in life as we live. And the longer we live, the more we understand that things come and go. You know, this kind of feeling of building and destroying, receiving and losing, and, you know, nothing, there's a impermanence. Right? Everything is fleeting. So, I feel that you are really in this kind of headspace where this is, you know, I don't know that this is something that is you are realizing right now, but I think this is something that you just carry with you. This is an understanding that you maybe came to at a fairly young age. You maybe have a tendency towards melancholy, okay? And that's, you know, there's a sense of tempering of self emotionally because of your understanding of this impermanent life, the cycles of life, the relationships in life. The things that we feel that we deserve or that we earn, all of it comes and goes, doesn't it? You know? And so, I feel like this is definitely an archetype that you relate to. And I almost wonder, you know, if people kind of experience you and think of you, especially when you were young, that you are older, You are older than what you are. You have an old soul. You're very kind of wise, right? You have an understanding of life that most young people don't have. Okay, and that has developed further throughout your life. Okay. Now, we also have these interesting, I have two of them. We have this person up here who is, let me get this right in here. It is a person who is kind of walking up or over the top of a hill or mountain, and they look like they are sprinting. You can see their leg is kind of, let's see, how do I do this? Okay, their leg is kind of in this position and the body's upright, and there's like a really, you know, strong kind of posture there. And so there's a lot, this feeling of overcoming, but we also have this formation as well. Person kind of coming over this, I don't know, mountain or some kind of object, but really easily getting over it. Okay, and I feel like, so both of these kind of similar vibes, just overcoming whatever kind of little crises or deals that have arisen. You are kind of just leaps and bounds ahead of it all. It is not a single little bother to you. I mean, you just are powering through it. I feel like there's just a lot of energy, vitality right now. I feel like there's probably some amount, and this is I think that there are some financial, my last reading, I just had the other cat up here. Now I have this one. Okay, so I feel like there's some financial blessings coming through. You have been working hard, okay? And it's paying off. I feel like you, and we have here this kind of chariot, okay? And a person sitting in it. I believe you've been working very hard. Feverishly even. Obsessed. Okay, we're talking about Cancer, so there's, you know, probably an amount of fixation, obsession, whatever kind of project you're working on. You are all about it, and every single detail has gone, you've been going over it and tinkering and figuring out how to make these things work. And this is becoming pretty lucrative for you. Now, with these financial blessings, this probably, you know, positive upturn in whatever you're working on or within your career, there are responsibilities that come along with any kind of, can you please, oh my goodness, sir. Okay. There are new responsibilities when you start to have this kind of fortune, right? When things start getting better, growing, and a little more complicated, there are going to be more and more responsibilities. And I feel that, you know, you are definitely in, and this is where I'm seeing this kind of, I don't know what kind of bird, but just like it reminds me of a cartoon, kind of this large bird with a large beak. Maybe, what are those called? Like snowbill? Is it called a shovel bill? I don't know. It's a kind of big bird. It looks like a dinosaur. They are real though. And they're large, they're tall. But anyways, it's goofy looking and kind of scary. So I get this kind of almost absurd energy, but strong, you know, and these different things that are coming up, these little, like I said, little crises, you are, you know, just leaping over them, but they are coming, and you know, you have all these different things to think about. You're an organized person, I imagine. Most Cancers are, but there's so much in such a short amount of time happening that I feel like it seems kind of like a, you know, chaos. Okay. But I see also there's this person on the back of this crazy bird. And I think that, you know, you really have a good handle on it. You really are kind of taming that beast, at least able to hold on for the ride. And so I think there's just all these things kind of coming together. The big thing for you, though, is really, this is where those virtues kind of come up. You have to remember yourself. Remember that those core elements of life, of your being, because if you just get carried away with the success, with the money, with being busy, being really, you know, just you know, you're doing well, so you kind of, why would you want to slow down? Well, you have to at least remember yourself so you don't get burnt out. Okay, I mean, that's very easy to do, especially if it all starts to happen quickly. There's not a lot that can, you know, get you ready for sudden bouts of success, or you know, like a project taking off or whatever it is. So you need to pace yourself. Okay. And, you know, don't, like I said, don't get carried away with it. But I also think it's important, there's a monkey here, and you have to also keep that kind of silly spirit where you can. You know, don't let yourself get too serious about everything. Which is easy because you're stressed. You know, you're trying to fit a lot of things into probably one day, you know, a lot of tasks and places to be and people to, you know, communicate with and do things for and whatever. But you have to try to enjoy it, or like, what is it for, right? Being just all wound up super tight and in a bad mood and, you know, just kind of whatever. That's not, I don't know. Anyways, I think because I get into that bad mood easily. I'm really am very touchy when I feel overwhelmed. So I also have to remember, you know, this is all for something, right? I need to enjoy the ride. I need to indulge this silly side of myself, or I'm going to, you know, start to come undone. And so I think that's you know, it's a good thing to remember. It's a good thing to try to keep in mind, definitely. Let's see, what else do we have going on? These cats, they come and go. They get me all wound up. For my Gemini reading, the other cat was up here just knocking stuff over. Okay, so we also have a J. We have two I's. I have an I here and I here. Sometimes I'm reading these as kind of a candle of illumination. These ones, though, I think I'm reading as actual I's. So maybe it is repeating. This could be somebody's name that starts with an I. I don't know, but we have a J as well. So, again, somebody with a J name, maybe, I don't know exactly, but that seems important because it's repeating. So you tell me what that is. If you want to share, put it in the comments. Let's see. I wonder if you guys are going to be able to hear. My wind chimes are outside, kind of really making a lot of noise. I think there's a storm coming in. All right, I'm not really... Now I'm looking at this one, and it looks like a person, like a formation of a body, the torso anyways. It looks like it's kind of disintegrating. And I think that this really has to do with like that feeling of burning out, just getting too overwhelmed by things, and you know, not having the time to enjoy what is going on, the things that you have built, you know, for in your life, and always kind of putting it off for like, oh, you know, we'll do something next time, or I have to work and I don't have time to do these things. And that, you know, can really, next thing you know, it's like half your life's over, right? And you've missed out on a lot of stuff. Okay, so I also am seeing, now this is flipped over from how it was before. It looks like a person, a formation here of a person, and then another person who's kind of swinging around. It looks like a baby maybe. Or an animal. It seems like a, it seems like a cute kind of scene of like a family together. Kind of having fun. And so maybe you have a family and you need to spend a little more time with them. If you can, you know, make that a priority to do some kind of fun activities coming up. Something, you know, where you can enjoy each other's company. Now I'm also seeing, and this is kind of weird, but it looks like the person here is holding kind of this, it looks like a fish, but it looks like the kind of bones of the fish. And I'm just thinking, it almost feels like, it's almost like taking every part except for, you know, the skeleton of something, like sucking out all of the energy, and just like feeding on something until it's almost nothing. So, I mean, I really think that this is, I wonder if you have, I don't know, are you, like, maybe your people, your family unit, your extended family, maybe your friends, they just haven't been seeing you a lot or hearing from you. If you're a Cancer, you probably don't do a lot of texting or calling anyways, but maybe even less than usual, because you are so into whatever you are working on, that it seems like, you know, they're kind of sometimes feel like they're only receiving like the last little bit of you, because you're depleted. But I think that you're going to be able to get this together, and, you know, maybe manage your energies a little more, and prioritize being among other people that you love, that love you, and you know, not being kind of hidden away in your laboratory like a mad scientist working on your, you know, big discovery. Okay, so we have a lot of tiny little bits here, little fragments. They seem like they're not moving too much, even though they are in the little puddles. Okay, I think there's just so much coming together. There are just so many ideas And I think that, you know, usually you're probably pretty organized, but because there's so much happening so quickly, I feel like, you know, part of what's going to help manage this is maybe making some lists, recording some of the ideas that you're having or things that you need to do, maybe recording what you have been doing, journaling, keeping a diary, this kind of thing. Just so, you know, you don't even have to look at it necessarily again, but going through the process of recording these things maybe will help you kind of, you know, sort through them mentally, logically, and figure out how you're going to achieve all of the things that you want to, and schedule them. Make best use of your time. Okay. All right. So this is kind of a short reading, but I think that's kind of it. That's kind of the vibe for me tonight. And I love this virtue card. I really, you know, I think about constantly, like, what are these original virtues? What are the virtues for me? And mine, I'll share at least one with you. One of the ones that really speaks to me is this feeling of when I see light hitting water, and then the light on the water is reflected onto the wall like a pool, and it's, you know, it's shimmering on the wall, and the feeling of, it's so nostalgic for something I can't remember exactly, but that feeling, that specific kind of nostalgia, like I have a taste of the divine in those moments when I see that shimmering light. That to me is definitely an original virtue in my reality, in my experience with this reality. So, you know, I think it's a really it's such an interesting contemplation, kind of, you know, what's it, prompt or whatever. I don't know what you would call it, but it's something to really kind of meditate on. And I'll spend the rest of my life thinking about it for sure. Okay, so let me just tell you, I am so thankful that I get to bring these messages to you. I get to do these readings for you. I appreciate the time that you spend with me. If you'd be so kind as to like the video, it will help me get into the algorithm. And we are, you know, building this channel one person at a time. We're doing it all together collectively. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't subscribed, please think about doing so. You can hit the little bell once you've subscribed, and that will let you know when the next videos are coming out. We are on a schedule where I'm reading each sign once a week. So between now and about 7 days, you can watch your other placements, your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising, Venus, or you can cross watch. A lot of you do, and I appreciate you for doing that as well. It is fun to see what is going on in the lives of our loved ones. And other than that, you can leave a comment. I love hearing from each and every one of you. The messages are always received with, you know, great love and gratefulness. Just I'm very grateful. So I thank you, and we will talk again very soon, Cancer.